Good night, ladies. Good night. Let me quickly. All right. I hope that y'all are having an amazing evening. Oh, we might be able to go live on IG, y'all. I found my little tripod. So, if you are joining me for the first time, let me know where you're from, where you're joining in from. I am super excited for today's discussion on managing your life well. So often we are we're managing all of the things, we're managing everything. If you are a woman, a mom, you more than likely have lots and lots of things going on your plate. And so I want to talk about the feminine success model for managing things better because a lot of times we are simply juggling. We're not really managing, we're juggling. And juggling, at some point, you're going to get tired, a ball will get dropped, guilt, shame, all those things start to come up. And we can manage our lives, we can enjoy our lives without all of that. So let's see if we can get Instagram popping over here. Okay. We might be able to get a little something going, y'all. But I will be answering your questions over here on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are joining me on Facebook and YouTube, this is where the actual conversation will be happening. As we're discussing, as we're talking, I'll be answering questions live over here on YouTube. Hey, Instagram. If you are on Instagram and you want to be a part of the conversation, you want your questions answered, for sure. I'm going to try to answer questions on all platforms. However, the main camera is over here on Facebook, on YouTube. So if you are not in the free Facebook group, make sure to go and join that. If you are and you want to ask your questions, join us over here on Facebook. If not, if you just want to listen in, you feel free to stay on Insta. We are also on YouTube. All right, y'all. So tonight we're going to be talking about managing your life. And I really just wanted to have a conversation about this because I coach a lot of women. Outside of coaching a lot of women, I have lots of friends, um, single, married, moms, not moms, caretakers, not caretakers. And one of the things that comes up often is how much is actually on your plate, how much you are actually having to show up for on a day to day basis. I was just reading yesterday. I read an article that was talking about the pay gap and the pay disparity between men and women. And it was saying how lots of your high paying jobs, your high power positions actually require these unrelenting work hours, this time to be put into your career, into your industry, into your lane, and even when you're running a business, into your business, that a lot of women are not willing to sacrifice. So, for those of you who are new to the Feminine Success family, welcome. If you're not new here, hey, so glad to have you back. What we are committed to, not only myself, but my team, we're committed to helping women create success in a feminine way. What does that mean? Well, I just mentioned that so often the higher paying jobs, the industries that give you the room for growth that you're looking for, that give you that competitive edge, and that maybe you're even passionate about getting to the top, they require you to sacrifice so much of your life, so much of your time, so much of your energy to get to that, whether it's the pay level that you're looking for, it's the status that you're looking for, it's the power that you're looking for. As women, we've had to decide, am I going to pursue my career, or am I going to pursue the lifestyle that I desire? Well, in Feminine Success, we not only talk about, but we are about how do you have both? How do you work in your passion Be paid what you truly deserve and desire. Build a lifestyle, relationships, family life, home life that you truly desire without sacrificing yourself in the process. I believe and I can see, I mean, I think anyone who opens their eyes to what's going on right now can see that the old ways of doing things are dying away, that the masculine version of success is begging for an equal balance, for something that does not feel like it's either or anymore. It's either I'm happy or I'm rich. It's either I'm loved or I'm successful. It's either I have a career or I have a family. But not only women, but even men are looking for how they can have both and so in feminine success, like I said, we don't just talk about it. You really get strategies, structures, solutions for making that a reality for yourself with less burnout, with less stress, with less hustle and more ease and flow. I truly believe that when you are in alignment with your purpose, you don't have to hustle for it. You don't have to hustle for your purpose. Now, do you need to be diligent? Yes. Do you need to be consistent? Yes. But so often we're being diligent and consistent in things that are not in alignment with what we truly desire for ourselves. And what we say is, well, once I do this, then I'll focus on that. Once I build the business, then I'll focus on incorporating breaks, incorporating rest, incorporating more vacations or more social time. But my coach told me a long time ago that how you build it is how it will be. And I really do believe that if you build your business on hustle and grind, you're going to have to hustle and grind to maintain it. If you build your relationship on struggle and sacrifice, you're going to have to struggle and sacrifice to maintain the relationship. And so we're showing you a new approach, a new way to build the life that you truly desire. And today, I want to talk about a method that I teach inside of Feminine Success called the Mom Method for managing your life. Now, this is not just for moms, it's just called the Mom Method. But this is not just for moms, this is for anyone really who wants to be a better manager of all the key areas of your life. All right. In feminine success, we focus on four key areas of your life. I try not to get so granular that we're pulling apart your entire life structure and rebuilding from the ground up. It's more like a renovation. It's more like looking at the areas of your life that mean the most to you, that affect you in the greatest ways, and improving those so that everything connected to them can improve. So, the four areas that we focus on in feminine success are your thought life. Everything starts in your mind, you know that. Your home life, which I truly believe that your home space, not just the home that you're in, but anywhere that you are planting yourself in any season, is very much like the soil. And you want to make sure that that soil is peaceful, that that soil is not being disturbed very often, so that you can plant yourself, grow, and thrive from wherever you are. Your work life, because what do we spend most of our time doing as adults? Working. We spend the most of our time working. And so, because we're spending so much time working, making sure that we're doing work that truly fulfills us, not only fulfills us, but funds us, truly fulfills you and funds you. All right. What was the point of working hours and hours and hours and hours on end and sacrificing your time or your life or your skills, your talents, your gifts to not be paid what you deserve? And then the fourth key area that we focus on are your relationships. Everything in our life is built on relationships, from your work relationship to a marriage to your family relationships to your friendships. So much of your life is built on your relationships. So we do not leave out relationships. And for those who know me, you know relationships are my favorite part. So So those are the four key areas that when we're talking about the mom method, when we're talking about managing your life, when we're talking about creating feminine success, those are the areas that we are discussing. Just wanted to make sure we were clear on that and got that out of the way. So, really quickly, I'm going to take a sip of water. Good evening, Portia. So good to see you here. Good evening, Go Rima. Oh, goodness. So good to see so many of my clients here. Y'all are awesome. Donica, so good to see you here this evening. Hello, Chiquita. Hey, Glam with Jess. So good to see you, Chantel Kennedy. So good to see you, Tasha Solomon. Hey, ladies. I hope y'all are doing well this evening. And if you're over here on YouTube, I see that we have a few folks who have shown up on YouTube, Facebook. Make sure that you say hello in the comments so that I can say hi to you back. Sean Sullivan says women are so special, amazing, important, and deserve respect. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in feminine success, we really talk about how to get that respect, how to get the love that you need, how to get the support, the pay that you desire in every area of your life without having to beg for it. I don't believe in pretending to be someone else, pretending to like things that you don't, just to receive approval from others or support from others or commitment from others. But how do you show up as your most authentic self and get what you absolutely deserve? So that's what we'll be talking about. Hey, Business Rules for Women. So good to see you over here. All right. So tonight, let's discuss the mom method. Let's discuss the mom method. The mom method, again, is a protocol, a system. I teach systems, so you're going to get systems all the time with me for managing your life. And so often when we're talking about managing our lives, we go right to our planner, which I'm a planner, so I get it, but we go right to our planners. And I find that a lot of women do really, really well when you're planning for work, when you're planning for your children, when you're planning for others and other things. But once it's time to plan for yourself, show up for yourself, take some things off of your plate, even, you're just not sure how to do it. You're just not sure how to stick with it. You wrote it down in your planner, but then life happened. The day got away from you. All of these things show up that stop you from carrying out the plan that you have for yourself. If that's ever been you, put your hand up in the comments just so I know that I'm not here talking to myself. One second, y'all. If that has ever been you, just a simple hand raise is enough for me. If you've ever been the person who has said, you know what, I am going to get myself a brand new planner. I just bought a new planner, so I'm going to get myself a brand new planner. I'm going to write down this amazing plan for how I'm going to take care of myself this week. I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to start my business. I'm going to write my book. I'm going to do all these things. And then when it's time for you to carry it out, things happen. And things always happen, true. But it seems like when it's time for you to show up for you, those things actually knock your plan all the way off course. What I notice is that while things always happen, we usually find a way to work around those things when it's time to show up for others because we don't want to be seen as someone who's not dependable, as someone who is not reliable. So we find a way to show up for others. But when those interruptions disrupt your plans for you, it just gets knocked to the back burner. It's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next time or next week. And it's time out for that. So the mom method, three simple steps, but within those steps are um, further practices to help you dive deep. I won't take you into all of those practices tonight because the first time I taught this, I think it was like a 2-hour masterclass, but I will share some of it with you here. Let's see. Kanisha says, that's my worst fear, to seem unreliable or not dependable. And what's so interesting is we are very committed to that when it comes to others. But ask yourself, can you rely on you? Can you rely on you? Can you rely on you the way that other people can? So often we say, others can rely on me, but there's no one that I can rely on like others can rely on me. But what about you being able to rely on yourself and you trusting that if I say I'm going to do this for myself, then it's going to get done? Okay. So the first M in the mom method is measure. Measure. And when we talk about measuring, so often we go right to the numbers, which I totally understand because I love having people on my team who love numbers. Okay, I'm not necessarily the numbers lover, but I love having people on my team who love numbers. And I love to sit with them to look at the data, to see what's going on. But when I talk about measuring here, what I want you to measure is your output and what's coming in. Output, input. So often we are constantly going, constantly doing, constantly pouring. What are the things in your life that you're currently pouring into? And what are the things in your life that are currently pouring into you? Measuring your time and your energy, managing your time and your energy is all about understanding what are you pouring out and what's coming back in. Do you have systems in place to replenish yourself when you are pouring? Because so often we're pouring, and what do? We sleep to pour back into ourselves, or we zone out, turn on a show, or go read a book. While those things are great, are they refilling your cup, or are they simply numbing your nervous system so that you can calm yourself down? So what are you doing in your life? What measures do you have in place to make sure that you are being poured into in the ways that you pour out? Now, what's really important to understand, and I think you all will probably know this, is that where you are pouring out in your life will not always be where you're being poured back into. So the people who you are pouring into won't always have the capacity to pour back into you. The opportunities, the job that you're pouring out to will not always have the capacity or resources to pour back into you. Yes, they can pay you, but that's not the same as being poured into. And it's really important for you to know, what is it that refills your cup? Hey, Monica, so good to see you. What is it that refills your cup? Okay. So that you are not approaching your relationships, approaching your career, your business with expectations that it will pour back into you something that it does not have. Another part of that is that often the people around us seem to be trying. They seem to be trying to help you out and trying to pour back into you and trying to give you what they think you need. And something you're just like, this is nice, but this isn't it. It's nice, but this isn't it. And the reason for that is often because we have not gotten clear on what we need to feel full, to feel that we've been refilled. And even if we do know it, we're not communicating it for several reasons. Sometimes it is, I don't want to seem unappreciative. They're doing the best that they can, so I don't want to seem unappreciative. But the thing is, if we're not communicating what we actually need, we're still going unfulfilled. And eventually that unfulfillment will lead to resentment. And so many women are managing a life that they resent. They thought that they would love it. They aimed for all of their goals and got them. And they got there and resented because there were no practices to refill you along the way. So, what feels like resentment is actually exhaustion. Okay. So, what are those things that refill your cup, that make you feel that all of your work is not in vain, all of your effort is not in vain, all of your pouring is not in vain? And are you regularly making sure that your cup is being refilled? Now, important piece of this. Not only who are you pouring out to, but who is pouring back into you. Once you know those things that you need to regularly be refilled, are you getting them from the right people, the right place? Again, we are so often frustrated with the people around us because we're saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Don't they see all that I'm doing? Or why aren't they just giving me back what I need while I'm making sure that they get what they need?" I remember early on in my marriage, that was such a thing for me. I was like, "Listen, sir, I am constantly doing, going, being all the things. Who's taking care of me?" And in his mind, he was taking care of me. My husband is the most supportive man in the world, okay? Most supportive man in the world. However, because I had not sat at that time and gotten clear on what I needed to feel fulfilled, he was pouring, but he wasn't pouring what I needed. It was like pouring apple juice into cereal. I needed milk. And so until I was able to understand and communicate my real needs, which I had to measure, what am I pouring out? Who am I pouring into? What is being poured back into me? Who is doing the pouring? Okay. So measure is the first M in the mom method. The O in the mom method, once you have measured, once you are clear on what's going out, what's coming in, who's pouring out, who's pouring in, what you actually need, and why you actually need it, now it's time to optimize. Optimize. When you're looking at the data of your life, it's different than looking at the data of your business, but not so much. When you're looking at the data of your life, are you optimizing for the results that you want? Are you optimizing for the results that you want? If you have questions over here on Instagram or YouTube and Facebook, be sure to put them in the chat. Oh, goodness. And I'm going to plug you guys up really quickly to make sure that I don't lose you. Okay. We've been at the beach for 3 weeks, y'all, and all of my charger ports have sand in them. It's crazy. Crazy but not surprising. All right. So the O is for optimize. And to optimize your systems in your life, there are a couple things that you want to be mindful of. The first is order. How do you want your life to be ordered? What are the things that are most important to you, that are the greatest priorities to you? The first on the list should be yourself. Just making sure. The first on your list should be you. And this is not about being selfish. This is not about being rude to anyone else. This is not about being resentful. This is actually about avoiding that. But the first thing on your priority list should be you. The next could be your work, could be your children, depending on what you have going on in your life, but you want to optimize for the results that you're looking for. So often in our lives, we are optimizing for the things that we don't want. We are optimizing to avoid risk. We're optimizing to maintain comfort and familiarity, even when comfort and familiarity are no longer what we want. Mhm. Mhm. I think back to Earlier this year, my husband and I were preparing to move, and we were kind of in this place of, okay, do we find another house? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? And we decided that we wanted to travel as a family. Now, even though we decided that, I was still all on Zillow looking for houses, like putting savings aside to put a down payment on something. And the familiarity of, okay, I know how to get a house, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. I don't really know how to just pick up and start traveling as a family, made me optimize for what was familiar rather than what I desired. So, scratched all of that, and started to optimize for travel. So now, like I said, we've been on the beach for 3 weeks. This is probably our one, two, three, fourth trip this year as a family. Um, but that took being clear on what we really wanted, who was going to be involved, who would be the people who actually support that goal and mission. So often we're just looking for the support that we desire from people who, again, are familiar and they don't have the capacity to give you what you need. When you optimize, you are clear. This is exactly who has the capacity to support me. This is who has the desire to support me. This is who has what I need, or what has what I need, or even where I can get what I need. This is the specific kind of support that I need. Um, are you optimizing to be well supported in your life, or are you looking for ways to scoot some things over so that you can fit more on your plate? That's what I mean when I say so often we're optimizing for what we don't want. If you say that you want to be supported, if you say that you want to be loved, if you say that you want to be well paid, then guess what? So often, show you an example. So often we are optimizing for continuing to be the hardest worked and the lowest paid. Why? Because instead of pulling back when we notice that situation, we lean in, we lean forward, we do more, we stay later, we show up earlier. I call that hustling to prove your worth. We stay later, we show up earlier, we try to give away way more services or way more products or all these different things to prove that we are worth what we're asking for. When really the work that you've already been putting in, already been doing is the proof. And in order to optimize for the pay that you're looking for, it's time to take a new approach. It's time to take a new approach. Ashley Johnson says, I don't know anyone that can really support me in my life as of right now. So I guess I got to start looking for new people. We live in a world with 7 billion people. So if there's no one in your world right around you who can support you, yes, start to get clear on the kind of support that you need. Specific. Be as specific as you can possibly be on the kind of support that you need. Is it business support? Is it life support? Is it mindset support? A life coach is different from a business coach. A life coach is different from a therapist. Is that the kind of support that you need? And then what is it going to require from you to get that support? So often we're looking around at our life and saying, oh my goodness, no one is here to help me. Oh my goodness, it's just me and me. But what are you willing to give in exchange for the support that you're looking for? Sometimes you will have to pay someone. Sometimes you will have to trade services. Sometimes you will have to be there for that person in some way. But are you giving the kind of support that you're looking to receive? Another question to ask yourself there, because a lot of times we're being supported, but it's not the way that we really desire to be supported. And a lot of times we're giving support, but it's not the support that that person actually needs or desires. So communication is key there, and it's a part of Optimizing, being able to say, you know what, here is where I'm not getting what I need. Here's where I am getting what I need. And here's what is really working well. Here's what's not working well. A part of optimizing is outsourcing and insourcing. Outsourcing and insourcing. Outsourcing, giving, delegating those tasks to other people. Insourcing is bringing in folks who are able to help you with the more intimate areas of your life. This could be inside of your home. This could be in your relationship, bringing someone into your relationship to help you build that relationship. This could be bringing someone into your career journey to help you further develop to get where you desire to be. So, optimize. Are you optimizing for the results that you want? No longer optimizing for what you don't want. No longer going harder to prove your worth. We don't do that here. Okay. Okay, show up as your full self. Show up as your energized self, the version of you that is not tired. So often I heard someone say yesterday, are you tired or are you unfulfilled? Are you tired or are you unfulfilled? So often we're optimizing for rest when what we really need to be optimizing for is fulfillment. You're tired because you're doing a bunch of things that you really don't want to be doing all day, every day. And when I ask you on your jumpstart call or in the master training, when is the last time you did something just for you? When is the last time you played? When is the last time you enjoyed something that you didn't have to share? So often you don't know. So, optimizing for fulfillment, optimizing for those bold decisions that are going to take you to the next level in your life, and not optimizing for the things that simply keep you comfortable. All right. And then the last M in the mom method. So we talked about measuring, we talked about optimizing. The last M is multiply. Women are multipliers. If you've been around any amount of time, if you've read just about any femininity book, they all talk about the fact that as women, we are multipliers. We are able to take anything and turn it into more than what we receive. So we take our money and we turn it into investments in our communities. We turn it into a life for our families. We are able to take ingredients and turn those ingredients not into one meal, but into several meals. We are able to biologically take a seed and an egg and turn it into an entire human being. We're able to take an idea and turn it into a business, a company. The feminine multiplies things. But many times, again, what we are multiplying in our lives are the things that we don't want. Okay. So, discovering how to multiply what you actually want, growing the results that you've gotten by measuring them, by measuring what's working, what's not working, who in your life is adding to your life by being there, who in your life is taking away from your life by being there. And so often we do this thing, excuse me, once a year at New Year's, which is like, okay, we wait until the dead of winter to just start cutting everybody off and saying, oh my goodness, if I haven't reached out to you or if you find yourself deleted from my friends list, just know that you were not adding to my life. But then you end up doing it every year or every year. Once you've cut these people off and you're like looking for new friends, looking for new support, looking for a new job, into a new relationship, you find yourself repeating those same results again and again. You find yourself multiplying those results again and again. It's the same kind of person, just a different face. It's the same problems at the new job, just a different company. It's the same things again and again, but it's because we are not measuring the way that we should. We may be using a masculine measurement system that says, oh, well, I'm going to go to this new job because they're going to pay me more. The commute is shorter. There's a smaller ratio of employees there. I have more time off at this job, but you did not measure what you were having to pour, what was being poured back into you. What did you need? You didn't measure the things that actually mattered to you, because in a masculine world, we've only been shown a few things that matter. And it's why we get all the degrees. We have created so much for ourselves. Women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, the fastest growing group of educated, degreed individuals, especially Black women, but somehow we are still unfulfilled. Somehow we are still not being paid the way that we desire to be paid. Somehow we are still climbing the charts of mental illness. We are still climbing the divorce ladders. We are still not getting the real life results that we're looking for. And that's because we've only learned to measure a few things. We've learned to measure dollars. We've learned to measure time. We've learned to measure the time off that you get in your career. We've learned to measure by miles, but we haven't learned to measure in our real life, measuring the relationships in your life, the connections, the communication, the support, all of the things that you actually need to keep your cup full as a woman. So, when you know that, then you're able to multiply for the results that you desire. You're able to multiply the things that you want, and you're able to minimize the things that you don't want. That doesn't necessarily mean you'll be able to eliminate them, but remember that optimize step. Minimize could simply mean outsourcing it and delegating it to someone else, taking it off of your own plate. Okay, so measure and making the right measurements, optimizing for what you want and less of what you don't want, and then multiplying those results, multiplying the results that you desire to get, and minimizing the things that you don't want to see in your life anymore. I mean, think about how many things you say yes to on a day to day basis because you feel like you should say yes, not because you want to say yes, but I should. Or what are they going to think if I don't? What are they going to think if I say no? Sometimes saying no is absolutely the best step to take. And no couldn't be followed by a resource. So often you guys ask me here, what do you do, Yaya, when you feel bad about saying no to people when they're asking for your help? And provide a resource. Provide a resource for them. Rather than feeling guilty about saying no, give them a better resource, because if you didn't want to do it, you're not going to do it well anyways. If we're being honest. So, you can provide a resource. Um and I wanted to share that with you all because as we prepare to go into the rest of the year, we've really been listening to y'all regarding our previous opportunity and how it's really supported you, how so many of you guys have come through the master training that we've been doing over the last year and just completely changed your lives. We'll have some of you ladies on the live this week so y'all can hear from them. But you've come through the master training, you've been able to change your life in so many ways. And we're looking for, actually, if I'm honest, my team has challenged me to further provide an opportunity to help even more women as we close out the year. I know we're getting into 2022 in like, what is it? October, November, December. We got less than 3 months before we are in 2022, and so many things, if you're not measuring, if you're not optimizing, if you're not multiplying the results that you truly want, it'll get away from you quickly. The year will pass you by very quickly and you'll look up like, what in the world just happened? So I want to help more women avoid that feeling and really feel what it feels like to step into your power in your life, to step into your power authentically, to ask for what you really want and get it. So often you're asking, but you're not getting what you truly desire. And that's why measurement is important. Do the people that you're asking even have the capacity to give you what it is that you're asking for? So, I wanted to get y'all's thoughts. We've been kind of gathering some insight from you guys over the last couple weeks, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on, what would be supportive for you? How has even this live session been supportive for you? If you're over here on YouTube, and Facebook, just post it in the comments. Which of these steps is the step that you are looking most forward to working on right now? Are you measuring in your life to get the results that you're looking for? And have you been measuring the right things? So often we are planting hustle seeds and grind seeds and expecting to reap the fruit of fulfillment. And hustle and grind just produces more hustle and grind. So, Vogue says she's most ready for the measuring step. And those of you over here on YouTube, be sure to comment and share your answers as well, because I'm here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you in actually making these things a reality. I know 2020 doesn't feel like 2 years ago, but it's been an interesting 2 years, and it's time to get back into the driver's seat of your life. It's time to step back up, not be in this position where we're just like waiting to see what the next thing is going to be. Oh my goodness, which chapter of Revelations are we on today? But that you're actually stepping up and showing up for the life that you want, the life that you truly desire. The Lord ain't came back yet, y'all. So, not to say that he won't, but we have work to do before that happens. Show up, make sure that you are found. So often we're living in fear. Make sure that you're found in your purpose, make sure that you're found on purpose, and that you're doing the things that you've been sent here to do. And in order to even have the time for that, you've got to have a system for managing your life well. All right. So I hope that this supported someone. Are there any questions, ladies? Any questions on the floor? Any questions on the floor? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. A man over here on YouTube, Sean Sullivan, has asked, please tell me if there's anything I can do to be of use to you wonderful ladies. Well, Sean, because I don't know you, and I can't really say. What I will say overall that men can do to be of best support to women is to listen to women. There's this quote going around that says believe women. I believe that you should believe the truth, but listen to women and listen without the need to always respond or solve things, and you'll learn a lot about what the women around you need. Another thing that men can do to best support women is to work on yourselves, hold yourselves accountable, hold other men accountable, and don't just sweep things under the rug and act like nothing is happening or it's all good, when women are being mistreated or devalued in your presence, show up and stand up for that. I love to just watch my husband sometimes and how he interacts with women, because he does have a high level of respect for women. So that's what I would say, is to surround yourself with men who truly do respect women, men around you who don't, hold them accountable to being better, and work on yourself. Work on yourself so that you can be the best you for all of the people around you, not just the women. And, avoid the urge to ignore women, avoid the urge to feel like, as a man, you have to problem solve everything that she's telling you. Sometimes she just needs to be heard. Let's see. Vova Anais says, how do you measure if someone has the capacity to support you? Well, first of all, you would ask them by knowing what kind of support you need and then being willing to communicate that and ask. Um, and if they don't have the capacity. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you don't get the support. That means that person isn't where you're going to get it from. All right. So I hope that that helped you. Vove, you've been around long enough to know that, no is not your no. Their no is not your no. Just because they don't have it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have it. And so often we don't get what we need because when we ask for it and a person says, oh, I don't have it or I can't do it, we stop asking. It's your responsibility to get what you need. And if one person doesn't have it, find a better person who does have it. Okay. I hope that that was helpful to someone. I hope that set the captives free somewhere on here. Okay, let's see, let's see, let's see. All right. Are there any other questions on either platform? You're welcome, Vove. You're welcome. All right. All right, ladies. Well, if there are no other questions, do me a quick favor. If you are over here on YouTube, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know how today's live supported you. If there are any topics that you are interested in hearing about from the feminine success perspective, be sure to comment that below. And with that, I'm going to say peace, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. I don't want to keep y'all up too late. Enjoy the rest of your night. Take good care and get some rest.